Hello everyone and welcome. It is December and the Christmas season is officially here. So today we're going to color this beautiful magical winter wonderland with colored pencils. The page that I'm working on is a brand new page that I drew just for this occasion, and it is available on Etsy. And it's also a free gift to all of my patrons of all tiers. The links to everything are in the video description. They're popping up on the screen, so you have all the information you need to color along with me. Now, to jump right in, the very first thing that we have to do is establish our blue and white base. There are two ways of doing this. The first way, and the one that I recommend highly, is to work on blue paper and establish your white highlights with white charcoal. The second way is a less optimal way. It's a way that I rarely use, but it is physically possible, and that is to work on white paper and establish your blue shadows. Because of the nature of this particular illustration, it makes more sense to work on a background that's already a little bit toned. So blue paper, lavender paper, gray paper, all of those toned papers will work great. This is a night scene. We have very few lighter parts of the composition, and a lot of it will be in shadow. And that's how we'll bring out the glow from the hearth of the cabin and the moonlight. So for me, adding white to toned paper is just a more natural way of working. If you've never taken any courses with me, do swing by the Academy and check out a few free lessons and then join a course. I teach a lot of glow effects in my academy called Easy to Draw, so do swing by and check it out. So at the end of step one, this is what you want to get to. We want just a little bit of white and a lot of blue. So the areas that I colored are some highlights on the snow on the roof of my cabin, a little bit on the trees where the light glow will actually fall, of course the moonlight, and the lit area in front of the cabin. And of course all those little twinkle star decorations, just for fun. Now we're going to create the magical, warm, cozy, golden glow of this cabin. I am starting with a brown pencil. I will call out all the names of all the pencils appear on the screen as they show up. I'm working with Prismacolor pencils, so if you want to follow along with me, these are the exact numbers and names of the pencils that I'm using. So with this brown, I'm going to do just a little bit of the detail on the cabin, but not a lot. This is a night scene and a winter scene, so there will be a lot of blue. However, there is a natural warm firelight coming from within the cabin, and that light is yellow. So that yellow light will reveal a lot of the natural color of the cabin. Therefore, we're actually adding the woody brown color right now, only to the face of the cabin, only around that window. For my second color, I'm bringing in a bright fiery orange, and I'm creating a soft gradient transition moving into that window that's glowing. For the purposes of this video, I'm obviously not showing every single second of the recording. The entire project actually took 4 hours to complete, and this video is much shorter and snappier. However, I do have a Christmas gift to all of my patrons. Usually, only the Coloring Club and the Doodle Club patrons get a full, uncut, raw recording of my projects every month. This month, because it's Christmas, everyone gets this video that is uncut, and that's the full 4 hours of this coloring with me calling out every single pencil and you seeing every single detail in real time. So do enjoy it. If you're not yet a patron, there's no better time to join than around Christmas. Lots of gifts around Christmas time. I thank you kindly. My patrons really help support this channel. And I like to thank you guys and spoil you and give you lots of treats. So do enjoy this video. For my third color on the glow effect, I'm coming in just a little bit with a nice, soft, mid-tone red, just to spice up that orange glow just a little bit. We want the glow to be as vivid and saturated as possible. And for my next color, I'm coming in with cream, which I'm using as a blender here. You may not need this step at all. Your gradient transition may already be very smooth, and the colors may be just right. For me, working with Prismacolor pencils especially, I like bringing in lighter colors to use as blenders for my gradient transitions. I'm also going to bring in a pink and working at the same time with my pink and my cream, switching them back and forth, I am going to create the nice soft glow that's spilled out onto the snowy floor in front of the cabin. If you're new to the art of coloring, or if you are a very dedicated colorist and are intent on learning, I do invite you to swing by my academy and specifically to check out my Intro to Coloring course, which is called How to Use Colored Pencils Like a Pro. That course will take you from an introductory level colorist to an expert colorist in just one course, and then you'll be ready to move on to all sorts of other courses like fantasy glow effects, light illusions, and other fun things. So at the end of this step with a glow effect on the window, this is what we want to come to. So take your time, get there, and when you're ready, move on to step 3. Remember that you do have your full length recording available on Patreon. So if you want to see that, check it out. Now we're going to color in pretty much everything else that's remaining in really dark blue. The secret to drawing snow, and especially to drawing snow in the night, is not fearing the dark shadows. This is the part that's very difficult for everyone. The biggest mistake that I see beginner colorists and drawing students make when coloring snow is being too timid. And that's very common. It's just a psychological glitch that we all share. Snow is white. So in our mind, it's white, and white is what we want to put down on a page. A lot of students will start drawing on white paper to begin with because snow is white. So why not? Why not print this on white paper and just add a few blue shadows? And that's perfectly fine, but it's not the amazing realistic effect that we're going for. What we want to do for a realistic effect is to infuse this composition with as much shadow work as possible. And that shadow work is going to be mainly blue. So pick a nice deep blue, don't fear it. If you're already working on toned paper, then layering this dark color should be no problem at all. If you are working on paler paper or white paper, then make sure to layer it very smoothly and perhaps use 2 kinds of blue, a lighter one first and a darker one as a second layer. Notice how much blue I added to our snowy roof. Even though the roof is covered with snow, half of that roof is in shadow, and that shadow will also be very dark. So don't be timid. There's actually not that much white pigment in the final version of this coloring. Most of this is dark pigments and vivid colors. So that's the look we're going for, and that's the secret to this effect. You have to push through, you have to trust yourself, you have to trust me and my process, and just go with it. Notice that as I'm shading, I'm also adding a lot of gradient variation, creating a very 3D look. So my trees aren't just colored in a solid layer of blue. My roof isn't covered in a solid layer of blue. Everything has a little bit of depth to it, yet I'm still working with just one pencil. One other thing that I did on the roof is I actually brought in a Q-tip and smudged the effect just a little bit. That's another thing that I like doing quite a bit in my drawing and coloring. And to make things just a little bit more interesting, I'm now adding some texture effects to the sky as if we have some cloud layers happening there. And now that I got to this tree that's on the left side of the composition, I'm going to come back in with my pink and my cream, the same colors that I used for the glow on the snow in front of the cabin, and I'm going to create the same exact glow effect on the tree. So we have 3 of these reflection glow effects happening. One of them is the light from the moon and the light from the cabin shining on the snow on the ground. Then we have the same light, the warm light from the cabin shining on this tree that I'm working on right now. And then we have the foreground tree, which we'll do last. And the reason that I spaced out these three glow effects is because I'm approaching them just a little bit differently to show you that these effects, they're not cast in stone. It doesn't have to be the same order of steps every time. Sometimes you can mix and match these effects. So in case of the snow on the ground effect, I started with my light and warm colors. Here on this tree, I've actually added the dark shadows between the branches first and then created my glow effect. And with the tree on the foreground, the big huge tree that we'll leave for last, I'll do something completely different just to show you that the same effect can be achieved in slightly different variations depending on your workflow and your style preference. But the most important thing is that by the end of this step, this is what you get to. So take your time, get to this step, and we'll continue as soon as you're ready. Now that we have the strong blue shadows established, we need to increase our contrast. Remember that this is a night scene, and not only are we coloring snow, we're coloring two glow effects as well. We have the glow of the light from within the cabin, and we have the pale moon glow above. So these glow effects are really the magic sauce that make this whole composition work. Without it, it would just be a night scene. We wouldn't see anything but maybe some silhouettes. Or if this was a day scene, it would probably not be as interesting. So the way that I'm bringing out my snow effect is by making it a night scene with these beautiful, beautiful glow effects, one warm and one cool. But as anyone who has taken my glow effects courses already knows, the true secret to glow effects is high contrast. So that's exactly what we're doing here. For my high contrast, I brought in an even stronger and darker blue, and I'm just chiseling this whole composition just a bit. All the things that are in shadow are getting darker. You can see a little bit more of the definition on the cabin this way. It's not just one big flat shadow. Now there's a little bit of definition. I'm also adding a little bit more darkness within the branches of the trees. So, start sculpting, add that darkness in there. And by the end of this step, get to something like this. We have a beautiful glow coming from within the house. Now let's work on that moon glow. I've done a lot of videos on glow effects, not just in my courses in the Academy, but also as free tutorials on YouTube, so do check them out. One of my absolute favorites is the video where I did the moon and the skull glow effect with the raven, so check that out if you haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna pop out a card somewhere on the screen. And, just swing by the main page of my channel and see what else I have up there. But mainly, if you really want to learn coloring effects, come to the Academy. It's completely free to join. It's completely free to watch preview videos and join the community and see what other people are working on before you decide which course you dive into. This next step is very simple and it is optional. I highly recommend it, but not everyone is comfortable with adding pure black to their snowy coloring. It's a little bit difficult psychologically to add black to snow. But if you've been following along with me and if you've been building up your layers of blue, adding this black simply intensifies some of the shades of blue that we have, and it's not actually adding pure black to anything. That's something that we learn in How to Use Colored Pencils Like a Pro, along with several months worth of university level material on the magic of using colored pencils. So those of you who have done that course already, you know all about shades. And finally, we have this giant tree on the foreground that we still have to deal with. Did we have to leave it for the last element? No, we didn't. We could have primed everything along the way. all at once. But as I said, I like to give you guys options. You don't necessarily have to prime the entire composition with your base colors and then build up your shades and add your highlights and all that in any particular order. You can do things one element at a time, as long as you keep the whole picture in mind and bring everything together in the end. This tree on the foreground is kind of his own character, so it was okay to separate him from the rest. But we do have to be careful and not bring any new pencils, any new colors for this stage. For this composition to work as a whole, we must be able to balance our colors. In order to balance our colors and our contrast levels correctly, the easiest way to do it is, of course, to use the same pencils as we've been using all along. So make sure to keep the pencils you're working with nearby. Don't put them back where they belong. Keep a little pile of the tools that you're working with always at arm's reach as you're working on a project. So for this one, I actually created all of my purple shadow base first. Remember, I promised you 3 different ways of adding these glow effects onto snowy surfaces. So this is our third one. In this case, I did the purple primer first, and then I'm adding my light effect and my shadow effect. So the rest of this tree is pretty straightforward, and as I color it on the screen, I just want to chat with you for a couple of minutes and say thank you so much to everyone who's been very supportive and very encouraging to me throughout this year. We've had so many changes this year. I built the entire new academy for us. We have 2 new communities. We have the Academy community and we have the Discord community. So many changes, and you guys made it possible. And that is it. We are now in our final stage, which is always the artwork overview. As we talked in the beginning of the show, snow is daunting because in our minds it's white. So it's very tempting to just work on white paper and add a few little blue highlights here and there. But I encourage you to be brave, to work on darker paper instead, to add your lighter highlights, and to infuse your snow with lots and lots of deep dark blue shadows. Remember to keep your composition consistent by sticking to a small amount of colored pencils. Don't go crazy. Don't pick too many colors from your box. Work with 8 to 12 pencils max and keep them very nearby. I probably used 8 or 9 pencils on this composition total.